than the size of the shopping area. True or false? But the ECOG, when they get a shop, no provision for a bag. Can the orchard design every Christmas for Luchi that Ben Market died to a point that Keke Napep could not pack. Then you know, then as I'm not people and once the customers are that it's get up that or pack cannot be welcome. They also see for bullion or whatever iron that she's here with an eye that the way must restore law and order. Then market, I give back life into it. It has to. Otherwise, forget it. One boy getting the keyboard also. So the 5 we've designed them, we're building them. The Aerotropolis is ongoing. They put a brand new airport is ongoing. And we expect that by the end of next year, before December of next year, something can land at there, which is going to be at the heart of Igbo the Igbo, and that equidistant to all parts of Igbo, at the heart of Igbo. New city, new market, new imagine. Anambra is getting fully built up. In the next 10 years, let me remind you, dear friends, Anambra has the second smallest landmass after Lagos. Lagos is increasing by reclaiming the ocean. Anambra is shrinking due to gully erosion. We are the gully erosion capital of the world. And you guess what? We have the second highest population density per square kilometer. Everywhere. In the next 10 years, our projection in vision, and there will be about 38 to 40 million people living in that tiny piece of land. By then, you need at least three airports to serve that population in the next 45 years. But guess what? In the next 10 years, everywhere will happen in good bad. And it will no longer be possible. The people here plan these cities, Heathrow, Ebakagarole, future terminals. They planned them hundreds of years ago. All on a buy, I can already see government. Which and we've decided this is the moment. If we don't do it now, then forget it. We have to secure that future for our great-great-grandchildren. That's why the new one is up at about 9 million people now resident in Anambra, and we're securing the future in a very strategic manner. And I want to say to you, one thing I want you to keep in mind as you are watching all of this, and I can see this has been circulated. You'll be able to take the barcode at the back, isn't it? So this thing was circulated at the 4th anniversary and the swearing in. You'll get all of this, and you will get the section on next steps, the next big steps where we're headed to. So you will get all of those there. If you scan the barcode, it will be phone. You can play with it anywhere you want, put it in your laptop, and you can see what's been done. Snippets of what happened in the last 4 years, and some snippets about the next big steps. But I must appreciate all of you, because your support has been massive. Support of the Anambra. Massive. I'm so humbled by this. We set out to try an experiment, a hypothesis. I come from the academia. We test hypothesis. And I came and said I wanted to test a hypothesis. In the political terrain, there are two T's that are in contention. Transactions versus transformation. Our politics is dominated by transactions. The so-called stomach and we set out to say, you know what? Let's try something. I told my team at our retreat, I wanted to test the hypothesis whether politics of transformation, politics of development, when you give value to the people, it all our support. That's how we started the administration. You are coming to me to say, give me this one. You are talking to the wood. Because I paid no attention. The resources are very little. Relative to the past, in the last 4 years, we haven't borrowed a cover from any commercial bank. And yet the value we have delivered, multiples of what those who spent 8 years have been able to do. I will say to our people, there is none to share. Every cover, my inaugural speech, when I was sworn in on the 17th of March, 2022, I didn't say to the Anambra that every cover you put in our hands will show you the value for it. And that's what we set out to do. Not appointing thousands of people, ESA, SSA, and so on. Appointments of people doing nothing, just to collect money. Said zero. We're not going to do it. We're going to give you an appointment. You've got to tell me what problems you'll solve for the Anambra. When you wake up in the morning, from 8 to 9, what will you do? 9 to 10, yes. 10 to 11. You have to account for each hour. 8 hours a day, what value? If I collect this money from the Nanya Keke, well, what will you, if I put them in your face, what will you tell them will be the value you are delivering to them? I will say no. The kind of political appointments that were done in the past, we say, well, we're not doing that. I say, hey, politics, I would rather use those resources to employ 8,115 teachers competitively and ended the era of schools without teachers. Meanwhile, in comparison, in the past, there were regimes that even spent 8 years that didn't have up to 8,000 teachers in the entire primary and secondary system. We recruited within the first 15 months. Rather than use it to give people appointments to doing nothing, use it to have teachers that will create value. We went on to implement free education. Truly free education in all public schools. So that, and then free antenatal, free delivery. And we declared a state of emergency on our roads. That in 4 years we've delivered more kilometers of roads at a quality Anambra has never seen in its history than anyone had ever done, even in 8 years. Connecting all parts of Anambra. So that after in less than 3 years, they had already the 3 senatorial zones simultaneously crowned, and then a new title. The original, my original one, Odedi Bagat and Orumba. Manafasi there no all what to him. Man went on the fear war. Now it began to resonate. You understand? And when we campaigned, it was a campaign like no other. And I want to appreciate in the Anambra, you broke history in Nigeria and in Africa. And that's the way that you showed us. You showed us that the hypothesis we set out to test, that something was happening. For the first time, the people took over the campaign. The communities took over the campaign. Individuals took over the campaign. organize the rallies by themselves and then give you check. It was a matter of a poor crowd. You must see careful. Where my head was serious. Gabo found a rally. Thank you very much to support your campaign. I won't tell you how much. If I am brought up at an opponent, so I'm going to MC, but I can tell you, in the Anambra, I must say, I think Bishop Kuka, when he visited, they were coming on this signing of agreement, peace agreement among the contestants. Because if you come to the lighthouse now, you see the dummy checks lined up on the hallways. And he suggested that we should do a documentary on this because this is new, this is different. That the people took ownership. People took ownership. They didn't just take ownership of the campaign and this funding. They showed it on November 8th. Because all we're saying was, no, Reagan, not everything. Just let the people cast the votes. Let the people vote. And in the history of the state, this is the third time since 1999 that a governor has been re-elected for a second term. And yes, the third time is happening. The first was my two previous predecessors, Peter B, who was re-elected in 2010 with 31% of the votes, 97,000 votes. The second one was Chief William Biano, who was re-elected in 2017 with, I think, 246,000 votes and 56% of the votes, 56% of the votes. And the third, 2025, November, guess what? The total number of votes is actually a little bit, I think what they put out there is 423, a little bit over 423,000 votes out of 73% of the votes. 73% of Anambra and the Kerala. We are an A state, and you made a very forceful A statement with that election. Election like no other. Election like no other. We feel deeply humbled by that massive support. That was for us a validation of that hypothesis that we set out. You said you proved that when people receive value, when we were campaigning, we're not campaigning the ordinary. I was going into the markets to see those women whom you will never see in the rallies. And you come in there and you see the frenzy. And people, some of them rolling what they had to give you. Thank you. My sister just delivered 2 weeks ago and through cesarean. They didn't pay a dime. Thank you. I now only dress up my children and send them to school. No comment. Thank you. The schools now have good teachers. Thank you. I go to hospital. They are now doctors. And by the way, what I also show here is that the patronage of private and public hospitals has flipped. When we assumed office, only about 26% patronized public hospitals. Now it's the other way, it's about 74%. About 74%. Because we recruited over 1,300 and something medical personnel and put in our public hospitals, refurbished them. We built 5 brand new general hospitals, all of them in the North Senatorial Zone. That's the zone with the greatest need. Refurbished several others, and a world-class trauma center. But Bido Kaine Bido. So I want to appreciate you, dear Anambra, for this massive support and to tell you that Wabarabi is our work. So, come, the Anambra, let's build that new Anambra. Makana to go a mistake in the Anambra. Because each of us, you know, I bless you this way, I blessed you that way, I blessed you, I blessed you, I blessed you. How did you use all this to leave that place better than you met it? I'm sure each of us has here. So if you look at it now, whether you are on a podcast, my own, if I'm apply for this job, on where when or on my own podcast can not, at least you know was there, so me I have 9 and my one at trial, I'm a diva, come on. Think pero it is about think as a man think do kit manapa no giteria mana ano biro ke man kita bagian pusara mas kami befania mana organ ne I try to cleanse and anyway so on na devenkia ana me denke no, not the event here. When I see this agenda will a deadline, but then will a destination. One state, one people, one agenda. And the next big step is the big. Hopefully ever is consolidation, acceleration, and sustainability. We're trying to build to last. Building to last. And the new cities, the rail master plan, the this and that, I know the acceleration mode, gear 4. But there is only so much, because we're now 3 years and 11 months. I'm counting down on efforts in overall again, so I'm finishing I went on my own. There is an idea now. Our urban regeneration program, the accelerated. I want to look at the 4 new cities, the industrial city. But I want to tell you one thing. For those of you who are interested in coming to build, the industrial city and the aerotropolis, the President, Commander-in-Chief for the Federal Republic of Nigeria, has graciously. And I want to think that this was the fastest approval I have ever seen in public sector. Because on the 11th of February, I met him with a number of things. And one of them was a letter requesting for him to designate the Anambra Mixed Industrial City and the Aerotropolis as an economic free trade zone. That was one that I handed over to him, and that was about 2-3 p.m. that day. Guess what? That letter, that request was approved the same day. The transmission, that is, he sent people back to confirm that the President has approved it, with a copy to the Minister of Trade and Investment. The transmission was also communicated back the same day. That place is now designated as an economic free trade zone. I can be done. Ogasalon. It's an economic free trade zone. The road dualization is also passing through there. And we are connecting and build massive new city in the hinterland. Because much of our other cities are at the periphery. You can't expand main market, otherwise you're into the river Niger. Main market is 25 hectares of land. You can't. Now for sustainability, 50, 100, 200 years to come, you have to go into the hinterland, where you can now expand. Otherwise, if all roads continue to crowd the few cities, then there will not be livable in the next few decades. It's not even livable now. In fact, I tease my brothers and sisters from our nation. I tease them that the clearest example that our nation died, the biggest city in the southeast, died. But where the Onitsha indigenes of Onitsha, Garapuzi Onitsha, Java Asaba, as Obodo Yubo Kifan. Okay? As their own, how do you call it? India abroad, let's put India abroad. Across all the river, yeah, but some of them coincidentally walk in Oka. So when you believe in Asaba, Chifo, or Asaba, Batonija, Waffelonija, yeah, okay. Almost here, or Waffelonija, Jabasaba. You don't need to prove to anybody else. It's the classic to prove that the place is no longer habitable. If the indigents don't find it habitable, or the case an indigenous population in Lagos, no, they believe now Ogun. One has Ogun State, they believe. And I say, not about Lagos. No. People on you know now about also na bednight. And that's why we are taking the regeneration of our nation very seriously. We must bring back life into that city. Even the Trans-Nkesi, that is an extension, we're building a major boulevard there as an illustration. The dualization in Metre heading to Otuacha. The first phase of it, about 8 kilometers, to open up that area. I understand now a whole number of our people from Asaba are beginning now to come back. The dry bones will rise again. Onitsha will rise again. Newe will rise again. Yes. Newe will rise again. Because Jim Wobro, about 1981 or 82, designated 4 places in the current Anambra State as urban centers. And there were Oka, Onitsha, Newe, and the Blood. Okay? Now, Newe. Which is the story about Newe, which is, for those of you from Newe, it's a very interesting thing. The phenomenon of what we are trying to do to regenerate Anambra and Anigbo is built on what I call the Newe philosophical foundation of home consciousness. After the Civil War, in my view, there were 2 major things that brought back Igbo very quickly into the mainstream of Nigeria. Number 1, academic transport. And number 2, Rangers International football. brought back our people, with his transport network, took back and by across the entire length and breadth of Nigeria. But we did something very fascinating. This thing home consciousness, will become a deliberate, it was all in it, or the Bunali. Well, yeah, that's a name where I was there. The Marcia was saying, no, but I can't take them back. Here, they will wait to have the other. Now, motorbikes, and so on and so forth. Fatobata, how they clear in Lagos, blew the container, not an name. He gets in Lagos, better name, Burupia, Chiapas in Lagos. Soon, the massive Ofia the Boyaba, one day will begin, and so on. Among people from my village in Isamasi, one day, because it became the place to be. And sooner or later, a new city was sprawling. The then famous or infamous New Japan of Africa was imagined. But guess what? We were developing, a new Japan was imagined, but still with the indigenous still thinking of Nnewi in terms of their villages. So there was a clash of the village. The current still see Nnewi now as a new city. They're still seeing it as my village. So when you look at River, no town planning, no River Nakota. When you want to go to Nankia. There is no single place where the entire city can gather together that is not a church compound or a school compound. There is no city that way. It can only be a ghetto. But the way we say it, and I am glad that a lot of Nnewi stakeholders are coming on board in this regard, because I have met with quite a number. And I think there is a renewed interest now that we're all going to work together to breathe life back into the Nnewi will have to rise. We're not going to finish everything in the next 3 years plus, but we will lay the landmarks. We'll be able to point the directions. Walk. Magana. Udene. Ọmọ fún ayọ̀. Ayọ̀ yọ ọmọ òbíkọ. Ọmọ. Ịnakwa ebu ife niile na-ebu. Na-ebu fọ biko. Na-ebu fọdụ ofu okenye. Ga na-elotara ụmụazị. Udene alụ ọkwa. So, at least how much of it was that I went to point out and I picked up what they better. Guy mentioned another government will continue. The next 1,000 years, if I can get it can be the world. And I'm going to open this up to questions and interaction. That is supposed to be an interactive session. But let me make a few. I want to respond to that so that we don't waste time to that. Okay? I think I probably said that last year. You will let go in Anambra where ban one local government to lobby law. You will not finish
600 roads. Even where they 2% of them, the flag are off. We are suffering from that till date. You know how? Because if flag are off, contractor will go and the next rainy season, flood and their erosion, they will make it all everywhere. Governor calls an advertise on your governor calls all water to go the road. Him and our water, I blow away in the Igbo water. Now, all water. All water. Governor, all water. All water. What I want, no water. What they go for water there? They say, why is there Jerusalem there? That's not water there. How water there? No, we don't intend to there. Now, Moma, I'm one guy saying, a one guy. Man saying, before I say yes, I want to be sure how it will be funded. If I am not sure about the funding, I don't make any commitment. For instance, now, I'm not going to say about politics. No, for them, one. For them, one. When I say, you get those guys, I also want to back, always yourself, you get to do my game, because they are the one getting by. What's Soludo'S, and the politics, much of what they did anyway. The man say, Jack, and Ban Larungo Laufman. So I don't have to remember what I lied to you about yesterday. Because the answer will yes, okay, I will continue to be yes. And when I say yes, you can see it now. But I'm not going to play the politics that we see here. So, if we are going to talk about those, I want to assure you, we already know about them. Because our mayors in the 21 local government are bringing these roads to our attention. We have councillors in the 326 wards. They are bringing these roads to our attention. I will never on Kakata when he's a video. It was about everywhere. Manner, one step, especially measured step at a time. And we will get there. We will get there. So, Ghana is Makana. Oh my God, see, I think I'm not charge. So when on my God is the late night for when they get made that I get that track and I hear when the further clarifications I get amen.
Okay. Nico, attitude for just how many minutes? Okay. You will be at the God's attitude. Because one attitude believe here. I will meet your face. I don't know that direct. Okay. All right. Okay, sir. Let's start.
My name is Victor Njana. I'm from National Quarter. Excellency, and I start up the existing protocols. Excellency, it really impressed me. I'll ask my question, but let me start by saying that for the first time, I know where my money is going. Every time I'm a best one like that. If it's possible, remember me, I want to pay my taxes in Anambra. Although I'm not working in Anambra, I'm ready to do it because of what I've seen here today. My main interest is on the railway line system. Only 1 kilometer here now. or 2 before I now in 3 years' time. And I'm very, very happy. Of which I have my question.
Your Excellency, my name is Simon Omadekwe, Vice Chairman of Zobo Development Union. Can you make the margin of the defense like you for your Akunyonga initiative? Esonante verifying no. Another one no every year. 2 months at least. So 1 month, you are not doing that. 1 month, then when the experience you have not doing. Now, you can't go now to the now, brother, make it no one way now. That's the same. I would announce. Keep up. We are poor. No, there's a million and more of one. Mama, no one carrying on here. Give me to a wise you. They are actually five choking men. I can never like you and I was saying you every choking Maguaka. So I want to keep Maguaka, the other power supply. And we can have cities or party. When I plant my villages, everywhere industries, people will walk, my HMI up there by Haka. Country of man, in a state independent projects, also one of the friendly Bunera, and we like no, and you know, from our state, no one lack if capacity and fund may improve. So the give why a government about independent state power project. Maka onye ọzọ ọrụ last year n'ụlọ ọkụ gbara ọzọ and the wepụ maka fire station sent down from Rwanda egosi ihe mfọdụ itinye ka ọ bụ na-enwere ya mgbe na-arịọ onwe ka a ga-esi at least 1 to 2 fire stations ka ọ dị na one local government at least 1 to 2 nke ịnọ international airport and seaport all be very important. Here, Lagos, direct European US link flight from Europe and US to Anambra State because the whole president will die.
Your Excellency, members of the Executive Council, my name is Kazuka Otuadema. I'm from Ogo, and I'm representing today Ogo Patriots UK under the chairmanship of my brother here, Okechukwu Kafo. And I have 2 other men representing today, okay, and Ray. My Excellency, before I came here today, I spoke with the current senator of my town, Senator Emma Wachuku. And I told my brother, there's something we want to ask our governor. Can we go ahead? He said, yes, go ahead. After I tell you what I wanted to ask. So my first, not question actually, or what I would want to look into for people of Hope. Yeah, many people may not know was the headquarters of Lagos South and situated inside the link to many towns and to other states, like Imo State, Abia State. We don't have links to this place. We have a lot of rivers that surrounded us, and these rivers they all need bridge to cross. But we don't have that bridge. There is one important bridge that my forefathers erected, but that bridge has collapsed. And that bridge, when I was schooling at university at Owerri, we need to go straight to go to Owerri. That bridge is called Olasi Bridge. Please, Your Excellency, look into this. You cannot do everything. Your room is not in a day. And I'm impressed with all that you've been doing, just to take notice of that. Secondly, electricity is not in local. And this also impedes the security system you're putting on. And finally, the third one. Your Excellency, we need some kind of upliftment to make sure that security in local is also looked into. Because these guns are being given to people who are not trained, and also the leaders beginning to play the kind of, I know this person, I will not charge. So we look at training and actually accountability. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you guys want us to take more questions, you go direct to the question. You don't have to start explaining things. And we'll talk about electricity, why electricity again. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency, my question is very simple. If you can remember last year when you were here, there's a man who was very furious. He got some money from people here in UK to buy some land in Oka. So that he was deceived by people who shouldn't sell land to the person. So my question is this. People like us are into real estate, and we are in Nigeria and we are here. Do you have any plan? My name is Michael Ofeyu Onyarubukambo. So do you have any plan to partner with some of us who are into real estate and the facilitation of foreign direct investment already, so that we can bring people to invest in Anambra? Thank you.
My name is Dr. Chris Adaka from His Excellency, on behalf of ABGA UK, Orumba community, North and South, and of course, Soho community, we welcome you to the UK. My question is, we have a lot of youths here in the UK. Anambra from Anambra parents, like I have about 3 of them now with me, my boys, here. And they really want to go back to Nigeria. In as much as they want to please us as their parents, they need to have attraction from home that will lure them to come back to Nigeria, especially to Anambra State. And so, is there any possibility of creating a kind of youth forum down there in Nigeria that will enable these, our young lads, boys and girls who have this interest to still come back to Nigeria? The other thing I need to, please just 1 second. From my hometown, we participated so heavily in this past election, in elective view. In fact, we have the highest number of percentage in terms of success compared to all the surrounding towns like Nanka, Ufuma, and so. Yes, I have my question. So now, in fact, what I'm trying to tell you is that Old Town is far more overdue for flyover, so to say. So the question I want to ask you is, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, we need a kind of more attention, please, to this topic.
Thank you. No, please, we're moving this again. So,
my name is Prince Solomon Okoye. I'm from Anambra State. and I am a member of IPOB United Kingdom. I'm here representing IPOB United Kingdom. So the question, Your Excellency, Governor, your security outfit Udokashi, allegation by ETC, have allegedly become agents of intimidation and oppression, even killing and maiming, allegedly, innocent youth. What is your administration doing to reform these security agencies? Sir, we have noted that you hold anti-Biafra stance and tend to always rush to blame IPOBs from ESM for any security breach. This is worrying because we thought you were friendly to IPOB leader Mazen Nandekano. Are you willing to ask President Tinubu to immediately release Mazen Nandekano and other innocent Biafrans held in the various detention facilities and the torture camps across Nigeria? We have a short letter here to present to you. It is summary of our earnest request. Kindly give thoughts to it consent. We hope that you will find the courage to do the needful. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry, just please, order in the house, please, order in the house.
My name is Nestor Machuku Uzongwa. My siblings and I welcome you, Professor Chukwuma Soludo'S, the Solution Governor of Anambra State, UK. We are from Nibo, Oka South Local Government Area, Nigeria. We are here today as the Oja Dance Troupe. We were originally booked to perform here today, but early this morning we received a text that this has been cancelled due to time and lack of budget. This in our view constitutes a breach of contract because we sacrificed our Easter holiday just to get ready for the performance today. If Anambra is so great that £250 is too much, we are happy to still showcase the dance to you at zero cost to Anambra State.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Excuse me. Thank you. The governor, please, order in the house. Order in the house, please. Order in the house, please. Order in the house. Please. Order in the house.
Who has this? Who is this for? Nobody's taking anybody.
So please, just introduce yourself, go straight to the question, not more than 90 seconds. Otherwise, I will take the microphone. Please, just go straight to your question. Please.
Thank you very much. His Excellency, Professor Chukwuma Soludo, Mr. Governor, the Honorable Women of Anambra State, I live in the market, Samai Kuchuchi, I Mr. Ghana called the Paris and Anambra and Kennedy. In the UN,
Who are you?
signposted
Who is this for?
the Onitsha
Who is this
seaport as one of the
I'm asking you,
indigenous.
I'm coordinating. Please, who is this for?
Who is this for? Collaboration with other states.
Talk to me nicely.
That's important. Move on. And I'm not here.
This for you to
You will put that job like I do on the news. I thought in that moment, nature really is well. Make a chief. Exactly. Thank you, Mr. Governor. Our futuristic plan, if we are going now, with intention to sustainability, AGC, no can Anambra be sustainable. While I believe AGC can only Fupa, Informa, Hagana, women Anambra, and our plans for sustainable leadership, more than AGC. Nkilasu, but na minerals. Chubu was Anambra with some minerals. It cannot be calling him like I AGC is Professor when I refer as Mimi. These are benchmarks I'm hiring. We were working together and we went months for 500 metric tons on a yearly basis. Manahasani Facho can characterize these solid minerals, not typical in the public domain. So, now, no, very, very good. But I want any proof in the public domain. I will network well with research with Westminster and Ruston and London South Bank. Excuse me, very important, please. These quality in terms of the chemical order composition, morphology of these chemicals, and then also making in characterizing it coding a public domain in conferences, so that we are actually there to obtain them. We'll easily vote our money, and in that, we are now comparing them with the ones that are being produced in the Western world, so that it will be a link to making that as a viable commodity to be exported to them.
Thank you very much. Please, we'll now pause for the governor. Please, we will now pause for a while and for the governor to respond to some of your questions. Because all the original question will go on and have a big one. All the original So, Your Excellency.
Cheluka, Governor Sako, Emmanuel Nazo, chemical decomposition. Doing good on that. I'm going to go for the one that
Hello. Anambra bueno. Omale buena to buena. Buena to the campaign is in 2010 on the I said Anambra bueno to love for Anambra bueno to love. Let me, the questions in that if we're not, because don't stop destruction again. Now, collect them all the stuff, collect all the questions. I wish I will sit and answer all, but I can't answer more of that. All the important, I collect all these views. I line, now my office will segment them and will direct them to the relevant agencies. On where suggestions in a make. On where suggestion in a make. Better. Go to ask a question, even better to make a contribution. Are you hearing me? Because I be a guy to allo. Obia? So muma bia ige unonte. I go on kind of when ke babo juganya etuo. Onwa kwena nke ga to allo etuo. Like man now from Ozobo. On one day one get of Webu. Now where men came morphology, man, or you go in eyes or if for this some of us who I for a number there, you were never so. But I did to near the two. Nalurana, upon one day, what care of Webu Serbia, one day, what care or put you was what to put to jail. Or you was a Casimara, London, Fiake, my money, I got it on it. I may be black or walk. Thank you very much. So, if I send the documents for my suggestions that you need to make, you give us. I know I am making it. I engineer and evaluate them. And I take suggestions very seriously. If you want them on a panel, 1, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and I send the government forward all the involved. So let's pick them. We may not be able to respond to everything here today. Go the line. Number 2, I will the chat from the IPA. Emma, sometimes why not go out? One student listen there. I did not cram which I questions. Yache no ifonye kuziga tu. Yalu eba. Then question 1, question 2, question 3, question 4, question 5. Overon came. Yeah, well, my for me, then they are their cram. I get it back. At least, all my home, India was. Eh? How much of my India? Get a car for it. Question 1, or so India cram. Question 2, or so. Question 3, or so. If one guy either ever a number down or when you go to the same IPOB, or if I ever. So, he would print the placard. So, if any nine number, I say a number, I say, oh, you better run or there, I put a very formula on my hands. So, thank you very much, sir. Let again, it's an interview and over the gear up here. What the government goes over the meeting on now. Because overlap. But they're meeting on one now. I never one guy could be not to swim. Or to leave no guy secretary. Name here, Hollandia. Or to leave no guy. To leave no guy. Look at that watch your man, yeah. Secretary had that day the other world. I said that the general I go my point down and age in I say short. Yeah, the secretary they're gonna become secretary, yeah, they're going to get so nah, you could go wrong. That's why I let the other so secretary and go get it. They get now. At least on Nakita, feel relieved. Yeah, you go back in. I told him. You know, yeah, let I go get all the matter. I know on when they're belong to America. Yapi and the gam. etritie. Mana ife anyị bịa tata bụ gịnị? Anambra. Ọ bụrụ na ife na-ekwu ife anyị bịara ikwu bụ gịnị? Anambra. Anything else ịkọta na-abụrụ about Anambra and how we move Anambra forward. Ndị na-ama ife a, I happen to be onye nkuzi. It is out of point. Was that different, another subject altogether? And when you get to that point, when that becomes and I'm not shy, as one for Igbo, I'm Ujulu, tracing my history up to the 11th generation, I'm one for Igbo. I promise you, I have my own view. But I get in Uganda, I need to get a little man. I need to get a little man. And the criminals, manding on account, manding on evil. It's only when we got them out, believe more, and then I'm once again. Is on the rise. Number is on the rise. I don't want to get into that subject, because it's a deep one. That let's get back to if I be an meeting. If I be an meeting, go Google it, and I'm not. Well, and Arab is a Cambodia. Then they clear on a clean one. That's part of why we had to start. Criminals overtook our land. The manner of all manner of preachings and so on and so forth. No. I'm not going to find him a bit of Monday sit at home. When they want to walk. Not a law of 4 days in a week. It's in a go to Oji Madna, no. And how do you expect investors to come down there? We develop factory, and those are now 4 days a week, and those are now 5. That's why factories were moving over across the river. Moving over to Ogun, moving over all over. They electricity shop, they move over. The harm done by many of these people will take more than a decade to repair. And God will help us. Thankfully, the Monday sit at home is over. It is over and has to be over for the sake of our children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. We can't go on this way. We can't. I don't want to get into this subject because sometimes it gets me. Forget that now. Oh, Soludo is one of whoever. Oh, Soludo, I didn't know Nnamdi Kanu from Adam. I've met him only twice in my life. And those 2 times, now you are reminding me. What were the Nakuje prison? Everybody ran. All lead the delegation of Igbo who is who, including Pato Tommy from Andrews. where Jeffrey and they'll call the press conference, an international press conference afterwards, asking for his release. And he was finally released. And he sought to come to see me to thank me. And I told him it was not necessary. I didn't do it because of that. No, I thank you. To take glory or to be acknowledged or to be thanked. No. When I was sworn in as governor, 2022, I'm our governor, second governor, first one. You don't know anything. As well as I did, within 2-3 months, I went there to see him. A BG and a DSS camp. And of course, I confronted him. If some of these criminals name in his name, in the name of Biafra, not in the camps, all over, killing and murdering our people in his name. And he told me that they had an abomination. I'm quoting him. That it was an abomination. And I came out and declared amnesty to them, and I told them, Otani Mafia, said Ni Mafia, Otana Madade, Bini Mafia. Only criminals are there. They are kidnappers, they are criminals. And if you stay in the camps, bushes, and you are maiming and harming and killing people, if we see the mother, dangerous idolatry, trying to overrun Igbo land. If there are some excesses, and occasionally there are. Don't deny that. In the world, you find these excesses every now and again, true or false. And the Black Lives Matter, mankind movement, and so on, all about security agents. Yes, occasionally there might be. But sometimes you also realize some of these bad people are really evil. You begide mmadụ begide ibekwu ya ka ewu. Ịpụtasị m na ị na-eme ikwu inyụrụ ahụ so ụmụnne ya kwadoro ya ekwela ife ọjọọ ya. Abụ m onye Igbo. Mgbe ọ gbatuo agbalụ ndị bụ dike. Ọ bụrụ ihe nọ na ife a na-akọ anyị some of us ga-ekwu ọtụtụ mana anyị na-eme ife ọ na-eme. And for the sake of an Igbo, this evil must end. This evil must end. We'll fight them, the criminals, and we'll fight them with everything. We'll fight them with everything. Can they pose us Ebola Palazzo? And not complain. And then goes the book of Lamentations. No, I read the book of Psalms. Not the book, on that part of the Bible I like. Wait for that book of Lamentations. Come on, take over Psalm. Nah. Afro people and the Buro Bundi or the Buro Bundi. I put down for him. Well, come on, it's each for them. We have to draw the line. We put down on the evil, the darkness, or the light. I am about the light of the nation. I am about the light of the nation. And we must pursue light. Light and darkness cannot mix together. So ndị na-eme ife a na-eme nke a na-eje gbada communities ebe na-esie n'ihi ala. We're trying to liberate. When I assumed office, 8 local governments were in total, these criminals were in total control of them. Keep the liberate those communities in half skulls, half skeletons, half river. Hi. Ọkụkọ rapụrụ nwa bụrụ ya etokebere itoolu n'ime ite. Ọkụkọ rapụrụ nwa bụrụ ya megide. Mana ya dịba, ọ ga-adị mma ka anyị ji ya. I want to now, Biko, thank you very much. And now, even I am happy na me deal go with the Kakachi Atakato if I hope. Makan ki you de tole na putas na Anambra. Kaka tole ya ho. Onya kan tole ho. Kira na ko di ba. Biko then that's what my father actually asset number. You know. But very seriously, this is a very important thing. And you raised a very fundamental issue. I've talked about it in Lagos, in many places, that people must be able to say, I'm asking for this service, I'm asking, this is what I paid as tax. So that you have a stake. It's not where you have it, you know, that man said, see the L1 care, see the L1 care. I Giorno and Tignazo no offense. Okay, when you stake, all you stake, you will hold, that's not stakeholder. And when you think you will stake before you hold, okay? That's the point they have made. And we can create that framework so that Anna Rurana, I think taking note of this, also if it's in my new internal revenue service, a designer, so that our people going in diaspora will be able to pay tax. I know everyone ever. Several of you are paying direct OPIA, and a lot of you are private business. A lot are corporates here. Anyway, God didn't come when they're there when you're not about to run in not to the more than that work. Oh, when people forever, that's a lie. Well, when I tell I got me by it, you know, I even make you go for an inclusive for 1 month or 2 months. Okay? I go on when I say to an aunt to near. You know, I to get there, back at it. What do you? What I get to me? What it was all of us never were our best of passage. On the men each day, they have minus. You know, not yet of his own 6 feet. All right. But you want, on that day when you are going, you should go with some measure of satisfaction that I did my best. So, because we're going to that railway line, thank you very much for that. What they are in easy. I'm happy where. Come on, man. Only a direct and near the Olureba, hey, on that guy. They go on that. I wear that. Oh, yeah. But they wear back, get a car. Hey, so night, dog, to get it. But I'll put what you go. Don't let her and neighbor to get a problem. Well, I don't they go, hi. What now? I'll get together. So now, how many have you been here? Because the CPCS of Canada has helped draw the rail master plan. The first set is in Oka cross one, just in the wing, I put a blog, I think because of where you link here back to Oka. Most like a belt where connecting these ones. Now with spaces for spores, usually Sinka, or Royba, that first phase, IAP killing. I'm going to get cost about 1.4 billion. Agreed. And in 4 years in Nogo, expended around 1 billion in 4 years. All you did now, if any then can spend in the next 3 years plus, we're going together. Before you fair bad man and I'm saying, so, Maka, on your moment, on your group or a so they do Ampulia. Go around on their back. You can go and they want to get one phone call or one network, they got what I think or whatever. But but if I get another bit, but more than 6,000 houses will give way. But I'm Cabo Bellion. Never going to get that. So, Gabo is a very expensive manner, or the less, compared to Abonyota Kaina. And as soon as I foreign more cheaper, we'll try to afford it. I'm passionate about it. That's big that. Simon, yes, power supply, especially in the villages, that's very key. But the issue of state IPPs, fair enough, but let me also say something. Because when you talk about state IPPs, like where? Like where? The state IPP, independent power plant built by state government. Okay, look at that one is not a private company. That's built by Fox and it took him 20 years to build it. It took him Fox 20 years to build the Aba his geometrics. To build the Aba. Now that is where we now have the gas master plan. We have developed the institution. We have our own Anambra State Electricity Regulatory Commission. People by world-class talents. They have produced the master plan. They have produced the regulatory frameworks for private investors to come in. We have the gas master plan also done by one of the major oil companies. They just finished. So we have those now ready. Come and invest. It shouldn't take 20 years like it took for Sunlight to build the power plant. With what we now have plug and play, some grid sectors can, mega 20, 30, 50 megawatts and so on and so forth. Quite easier. So anyone who is ready, we are ready tomorrow. We have the plans, we have the regulatory framework, we have Anambra electricity market. Everything is set. We're now going to the next stage, and which is the investment, getting into investment grade, and then where we need to go. And if we find credible private capital, it's not going to be from state current revenue to go and build that. You need the entire resource you have for I don't know how many years. to be able to go to get into that. And the lead time, depending on the size and what you want to build, because some of them have already built a power plant, and they're not ready, they put them parts that they're fixed. You have to order, and they will manufacture them within the lead time or get them. But I can tell you that a whole lot is ongoing in terms of trying to optimize the existing infrastructure. There are distribution networks, transmission lines that are more important that were being fixed, working with First Power. We have an MOU with First Power that's owned by DEDC and so on. So all I can tell you, Bona, the electricity bit will a whole lot, including, I must say, part of the thing we are working on that there will be a law soon to help with that. Because onye na-abịa ime invest, ndị na-amụ ọkụ na-aga akwụ ụgwọ ọkụ. Ọ bụrụ gị nwa, ime invest, ọ dị ka ijebeghe ebe a na-eme water. The supply is there and the farmer will. It will only take a few days and you will fall. Huh? Yeah. The issue. No, I get you. There is the issue about this estimated billing. We are addressing it. Because ultimately where we need to be is that everybody needs to have a meter. Isn't it? Yeah. Everybody needs to have what?
A meter.
So, or name one, you may get it. These are the issues that we are dealing with, as it were, to assist the private investors. If you want to come and invest, EBI will, I don't know, what is that you are here? People from Mozobo. Everybody, you know, band A or band what? Going on band B. Band D. Okay, we'll go here. So we'll go there. Okay. Yeah, because, you know, band A gets priority, then it gets, and they pay high, and so on and so forth. But where, I must tell you, the very first point to be made is that the electricity sector, countrywide, faces fundamental challenges that have built up over decades of low investment in that sector, gotten on to where we are. You know, to be able to add institutional reforms for us to be able to escape where we should be every day. And I bet in the coming years, surely, even in Jagade, Natal, that's all I can say. Fire station, yes, they are international airport, seaport. Of course, Enugu is an international airport, you know that. Well, it is there. Now they have begun to have some flights going off and back. But there is also the other dimension. It's important for us to know, when I said the Ifemela and the Igbo, you think about the generation to the past. Many are the Echia, many are the Wataria. About also Nabai. About also Nani. We're pretty, we're designated, I'm a bank at Imonokita. We're designated Enugu International Airport. What they go? Where am I? Ethiopian Airlines began. Daily flight. Oh, yes, on the buy and travel, on the buy and Far East. Better, on the buy years. But if I come in Lagos and Abuja, maybe don't have equal. On the buy and travel, on the buy and Lagos and Manaus. Okay? So, a bit from daily flight, what are that? 4 days. Senior had that 3. Tomorrow's come on now, can I feel it on that? I think my FL empty of aviation fuel. What do they want? A job and I don't want to get a day, busy, get the beef, but about the Lagos now. It's just that simple. If I'm alive, and I would start a work, and that's why we're working very hard to want to reverse the narrative. And that's why the issue of law and order is where we're number 1. What's the restaurant there? Manon guy and the Monday sit at home, can fly by to Anambra on a Monday. And you know that our airport is designed Anambra International Cargo Airport. Okay? People go on the airline. You just fly there, but where people that they are afraid to fly on a Monday. Local flight. Are they filming on a Monday? Just international airline. So all go there. And the earlier I realized earlier, and there you know, oh, waja. If you have the land, work. So, yes, you are not designated on a river port, port of destination and origin, and so on. What is remaining? When the president came May last year, also even year. And they agreed that the federal government would do everything to dredge the Niger. I dredge, bash it, Azoka. Okay, I'll go yellow. Now, what are the people now? Okay. Last bridge. Thank you. Electricity, no problem. Okay. Security, no problem. But, you know, 2 years ago, or 3 years ago, was celebrated a mass return. And they celebrated almost an anniversary that Nafama was the safest community in Anambra. I know that because I'm a Ife, I know to bring over. So everyone knows that. They don't get them. He put the hand in my mouth, I will sit down. He put the hand in my hand. If you go at jam to other jam, it's here and you're now. But let me just wrap up and then shut up so we can I have that themselves. Michael Ofebo partner with those in real estate to invest. Of course, yes, we are open. No, if get and go to Libya, show us the money. For those in Nigeria, maybe 1 year. And another number of platinum gold. I had a 1 year in our foundation. You will need to a level of irreversibility. I get irrevocable letter of comfort that can enable you to raise the financing, but will clear milestones. You know the milestone, then we will now give you final CFO. But we can give you irrevocable letter of comfort that we're doing this contingent on you meeting A, B, C, D. Once you meet them, we'll give you that and they'll come. My partners, $5 billion, $10 billion. Just say 1 year and the defense. Let's just get over Soludo now. Was all the apple for your 1 and 11. That's all. One yes. Oh my Lord, if yes. But for now, if if I do Kurania, get it, there's a ball. People are Maka, or one Maka, or no one, or not to vote. From here, of Ward 1 and of Ward 2. And people are here and carry the result of Ward the Porana and I am Menka, Sagayos was get all Ward 1, okay, 1,000, 42, okay. Onoma. However, don't stretch it. Don't stretch it too much. Okay, we got all Ward 1 and 2, okay, 3,000 plus votes. So Nanka Ward 1 to 4,000 plus. Okay, just as comparison. 18, just 18. Nanka never okay, I'm not gonna 4,000 plus 1 ward. Okay. I don't be as well. But my that's just a more what was Mepus is in the weekend. So Mepus is a man of one. Man of one on down at Cotarana vote, then we fly over. And the Kuberon can also see Mbauku. Okay, sir. Do well. Okay, let me campaign. Now, Dubai, Taiwan, about it. Not in Mafia. Makosa, also call kita. I want to buy Taiwan. I have to pay Taiwan. But anyway, one night I call Mia Obo. I go when one walk where can with the money I know. Then them Kunobo. The Papa Cabana name no Eva. One other Papa royalty. Now, youths not know John not that. You see, let me tell you, even from the not abroad and the Befaraki not that this last Christmas, the families not that. The children, and they think now from a lot of people, but that their children, even from abroad, now, Papa, now, Nigeria, actually, the fun city, Noka.
Yes, so, yes.
Where's your and throughout that period, from 22nd of December up until 15th of January, the average daily attendance was a little bit over 10,000 per day. People were coming from all surrounding cities, and I can have different years of we must make Anambra a destination. A destination. And I have others in Abadia, others in Gabia. As for youth organizations, you get at various communities, of course. One of you were one central Anambra youth, every village where they are on, every community where they are on stuff ongoing. Our brother here, IPOB, I am one of I think I was the second of the year now. The year in a minute. I don't know where youths are here before my back to them, and I can't survive. Well, and that my space about it, and that is back.
Allow, these are our youths.
No. Now, thank you very much. I think, yes. While in the guy now, what they move back about their neighbor, it's a popular demand. So, now, why they are doing the family requests, which is about this PPCP, Public-Private Community Partnership. Public-Private Community Partnership. So also one that wrote on one end from here now. Also now from Uli community here. They are writing us to request that e-money wanted to do, and I think the local government chairman discouraged him from do that and so on, and ask the local government chairman to go and do another road, Yarabuka, e-money, Lokapunka. I think that's a very simple, straightforward one, isn't it? I mean, like I said, that shouldn't be complicated. I will talk to the local government chairman. Yeah. I will talk to the local government chairman because, let me tell you, you know, then here the local government, you will let Anambra in the Java, Mahosia. So when came well, also when you the drainage, a private person, I guess the actual because thank you, sir, and you also. Okay, now the private person should be the first person to choose. You choose one non-cultural level. But everyone has hundreds of roads to do. And you don't have the money to do even 10% of it. If somebody comes and picks one, even if you have begun that one, thank you, and get yours of tens not in the priority list. So if someone has offered to do that, we should ask the chairman, then you have the next priority. The list. Okay, communities next set the list. I'm going to get that off my head. Down. I will not verify. Now more. I'm on the other. I will sit down even really there now. And where many roads to be done there. And let me amplify this. I must not end without thanking the Anambra who have gone on this public-private community partnerships. Government alone will not do it. The resources in the hand of government, 3% of the income they are under. The other 97% are in private hands. Therefore, if we want to accelerate the pace of our development, the private individuals, corporates, and communities must come. That's why we say public-private community partnership. And I want to thank all the Anambra billionaires and millionaires who have stepped up to be counted. Omo Ebende Commission rose, soon, SM Nebo Odogu, 12 kilometers. Or net even, or India Zodogu. Opolo no Nebo, then Nebo. Mazali, Ebola, I'm well, Ejegom communities to commission kilometers and kilometers of roads. Even the e-money I mentioned, he was telling me he has completed about 7 or so kilometers, and he wants to do more. Some other people, Tony Mans of blessed memory, once had the record of doing about 18 kilometers in Nemi, his community. Then someone, Ikenga, not just but adjoining communities, they have done about 30.5 kilometers. Okay? Then Chico of Adaziani. The last I went to commission, he was at 16 point something. And he was saying, now they are being Tony Mas. Into a Ghana, I did them a figure, I did my batted to commissions on I got this Christmas, I commissioned about 5 point something kilometers. Avalanche also has done several kilometers. There's a young man also from Ozobo. A young guy, I think in his 30s, who had done several kilometers as well. We went on IT business. I was there to commission about 6 kilometers Zenko had done. And he's setting to do a lot more. And so on and so forth. Even now when they will commission, I think 2 kilometers and so. So this is going on all over Anambra. And I appreciate Beni and Mia. They realize that the spirit of Anambra. That is the spirit of getting. I saw some club members. I went for a funeral. I went into a tent. And there were all these heaps, and somebody was introducing them, and he said there are 200 and something that they are all billionaires. I said, aha. So each person here has at least a net worth of 1 billion. Okay. So, well, you look at Messi, the only way to get him up by 1 kilometer. So some of them there were raising their hand and saying, I am a God. And I was acknowledging, yes, Federal Commissioner, no person on here here. So when you came for the commissioner, I am I said, but otherwise it cause of and number buying it. I said, Mother Engineer, a month a unit. Wow, 1,000 were there. I said, about 1,000 for banking. No more than I said with the passbook yet. So the now what I'm like, billion, trillion, blah, blah, blah. No, why there with the passbook yet? Well, what's the job now? No, I'm there, well, you're dead.
where the road, man Nanga or whatever. I appreciate Anambra. Let me tell you, if we set our mind to it, even the women after the Civil War, even the Anambra Mego, and we build the most developed countryside of any state in the country. We have the most developed countryside. Our villages are not villages. Our villages are just ordinary villages. But they have mansions. They have anywhere on Anambra. On Anambra, individuals have tens of kilometers of roads. Anambra. Well, I don't know many other places where you find us. I did only find the Anambra. And when we set our mind to it, there are any state, even in the CFE, before you go number 1, go number 2, go number 3, you got to Anambra. Well, so, how come? Why couldn't we? Why wouldn't we then turn our homeland to be that ultimate destination? If we set our mind to it, at the shortest possible time, Anambra can be anything that we will it to be. Anambra can be anything that we will it to be. And all I say to you is, come, let's build together. Come, let's accelerate the transformation. And come, let us sustain the transformation for generations of God. Get there one whatever. Anambra, my name is well, so I want to appreciate all of you. Get us in the air, are we ready? Yes. And yeah, my father is here. The government, no. Governor, we put back at the bank and we will vote the government come back and come to the village. Yeah, nothing go War 1. Apart from War 1 or 2 goes. Go now, higher. No. I mean, strictly speaking, Nanka War 1 came third in the entire state. They came, Georgia came second. Boko came 1. Boko Ward 6 came first, followed by Isofia, and followed by Nanka Ward 1. So that's the record. So, I repeat, it's a Mama, get a neck of me and Ward 1, Ward 2. Mama, come on, Nanka, yes, sir. Question also.
My name is Engineer Chinedu Obidi. And Your Excellency, because I have two important questions I said I was going to ask you any day I come across you. The way security, everybody understands, especially anyone in the Western world, we understand that security I gotta go beyond a or beyond Utoria and My question is this: is there a particular reason why Anambra State security, each where mayor operate to function in the form of Udogachi without making it to be technologically driven? Because the truth is, if security in Anambra State is technologically driven, other than I can walk down, short wire down, track immediately within 5, 10, 15 minutes. But at the moment, I don't think no one is such a thing in Anambra State. Even though Anambra where long-term goals, but there are still low-hanging fruits that we can benefit from today, from next week, without waiting for the long-term goals. That's number one question. Number two question is on house. You've made mention that there were so many plans for house. Before coming here, I tried to even find out what has Anambra State done in house. In September last year, you said you commissioned 10,000 housing units. You said Anambra, I saw it in Punch News, I saw it some other people. They commissioned that they were going to do 10,000 housing units for workers. Now, the point is this: 10,000 housing here. I've worked with Balimo here. Balimo is a developer here, and since the 80s till today, he's been developing an area in London called Silvertown. From these 80s till today, Balimo has only been able to do about 8,445 flats. Now, when I saw 10,000, being somebody not in construction and all that, I was like, this
just don't even waste our time. I didn't say so. I don't know who. I didn't say you said. I said I saw it in Punch.
I'm just telling you what you saw is fake news.
I saw it.
Okay, so let's go with
my
that.
question is this: what are you doing in terms of housing? The projects we run here, one single site every day has 1,000 workers. And it is something, if you can push your
administration, you are wasting our time.
Trust me.
Sorry, you are not wasting our time.
No, I'm trying to give you an idea.
Please, are you right now? Please, my friend, you are wasting our time. Can you take the microphone? Please, you will just get out here. Help here. Stand down, please. No, I won't answer you now. Because you have it that I won't answer you again. Sorry. You have to, part of the discipline is that you have to play by the rules. We have finished the questions. I just obliged you. Then you go out to give lecture. You just ask your question and shut up.
We went to that one.
Yes, okay. Biko, challenge. Biko, not another check, I didn't mention. There will be opportunity for photos. Biko, another check. Biko, can you make him arrange for photo opportunity? Thank you very much. Darling. Thank you. Darling. Okay. Biko, we will round up. And then later on the question, we got all the questions and in this part, we'll get back to them.
Because I'm chairman of Urban League United Kingdom. So, Urban League, because as you come all work with indeed all work with them. Because if women are buying, if women they grow the buying, on another program, I wasn't supposed to so people I make a government people always as make an onion because continue to go see you now go see you now and the other delegate on behalf of the whole program in diaspora I say thank you very much. Thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Appreciation to Mr. Governor. Not senatorial zone. Anyone? Anambra North, senatorial zone. No one? On your north?
Thank you very much, His Excellency, Professor Soludo. Honorable NDU, the Development Union, UK and Ireland Chairman, and the Indigenous Diaspora Chairman also. I think I've believed one of you can talk and do it. He's just a point I solicited with people. I think what the people are not going to certificate. Christophe and Nebo, because Anna Abamit and Nakaimo Buena, or I didn't know so I need to go for one. Catching a good there is no one. Not for Jesus.
Governor Chineke, money and which animal, not to know who knows each other by the fact. Now, when we are not about who here, the man UK. Thank God, we go Central.
the question of the former president of Ambassador UK,
Thank you so much, Mr. Governor. Professor Chukwumacha Soludo, CFR, Executive Governor of Anambra State. You are very supportive, beautiful wife, Madam Noye Soludo, and your beautiful daughter. Thank you so much. All protocols duly observed. Mr. Governor, it is said that when a good economist with strong leadership and integrity governs, the people can rejoice.
Thank you.
I'm an economist like you, sir. The idea is that an economist is trained to manage resources, planning, growth and understanding markets. And today, Anambra people are rejoicing. So thank you so much, Mr. Governor. We cannot thank you enough. I want to thank you from Oka. The things you did in Oka, oh my days. I went to Oka, I can no longer recognize my city. Is it the King Mall? I don't know where to start. Thank you, Mr. Governor. Our prayer is that the Lord will continue to keep you. I'm also supposed to appreciate the planning committee members in the person of our chief of staff. We will still call him our chief of staff, Honorable Ernest. Thank you so much. Lady Blessing Ruby Allison, a very powerful woman in UK. And my humble self, Honorable Gochukumara, the secretary of the planning committee. Chief Oke Emeroyan, thank you so much. Honorable Peter Sympathy, incoming. Honorable Ekelemosu, Mayor Kate Anolue, and Honorable Ralph Abom. Thank you so much for putting this together. And thank you, Anambra, for coming out to support our governor. Thank you, and God bless. And all the presidents of all the town unions that we are assembled together to plan this and make it a success. Please come out, let's appreciate you. Okay, the governor said not yet. Please, our governor said not yet. Thank you.
I just want to make just final remark, and that is to add my voice in appreciating you. Appreciating all the members of this committee that put this together. All of you done an amazing job. See, I come from this constituency. I know how easy or how difficult it is to organize this kind of event. I know. I appreciate it. I'm on Wembley, much of the, I used to live in the Beltway, the Washington area, Maryland, Virginia, DC. And several events I tried to organize. And the things that people have tried to organize elsewhere. And it was eager and so on. I deeply appreciate it. And I appreciate all of you who came on time. Who came on time. Because this is the Anambra, you say, okay, happens to this place. We Googled it and checked, and it was given on 25 minutes. But because it was scheduled for 4, I was insisting on being here 5-10 minutes to 4. I wanted to be seated here 5-10 minutes to 4. I was set by 3 to leave. They kept calling me, Ernest kept calling, Blessing kept calling. Because delay, I said, I ain't that. Because delay, I delayed it 3:30. I put that because delay, na traffic. That's it. That's it. I thought we planned this. But anyway, I thank all of you who, in spite of the traffic, in spite of the busy day, today is supposed to be a holiday, isn't it? We're supposed to be rested. For me too. I thought, because this is literally my first time since MS labor, I thought now maybe today I was just going to just the manner. It's a promise made and we'll have to keep it, and that's why we're here. And I'm so excited seeing all of you. And all the questions and the suggestions, and I want to end where one of the pleas that I made before. Aging quite a chunk. Suggestions and so on and so forth.
Said to go the more the leather, a package you give me and I'm here. Get my friend, they do a house. Get it? Gambia. So,
My Excellency, I'm not happy with the embarrassment.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.
Well, all people go to us. You see, let me pay attention. You know, the reason, get on this, I will tell you, because I had closed that chapter, I came back to it for a reason. Okay? And the reason I came back to it is to make a point. We had, as an order for the first this thing in heaven. We started this and we set out there a question and there was a time for you to ask your question. They came to me several times. I'm the type, I can stand for 5 hours taking your questions. I'm a teacher. And when they got there 2, 3, I said, no, let them ask. And I kept writing. I wrote 2 pages. So I kept writing until they now came and said, no, just take it, because otherwise this will never end. So the time for questions ended. Okay? It was now time for me to respond. Now I finished. I was just finished. I knew when they stopped taking questions, I looked in the audience, there were still more than 20, 30 hands up. But the organizer said, that's it. Okay? And asked me to respond. Then I was responding. We had now finished responding. Then he stood up and kept, insisting that he needed just to ask this question. Okay? So the teacher in me was what came out. No, leave him. People were shouting from here, more like we have finished. So the teacher in me came, I said, no, let's hear him. Whatever it is, let him voice it out. Now he began. You talk to one of security, I noted it down. I wrote it down. First you were supposed to, he said question. When you asked the question, now you began the lecture on it. Gone. And then everybody was waiting. The second one about housing. You didn't just, you started with punch, this and that and so on. Meanwhile, you are already out of season. It's no longer the time for questions. We are closed. And everybody else was waiting for you. If you finish the question about what are you going, then you go into the lecture about how housing, each apartment, how many workers required to work at this. Come on. There is order. And we are supposed to all to sit here and be doing well. And so what I did for me was to call you to order. You are now out of order. You have gone beyond the rare privilege. You jumped the queue for everybody else because you stood up. Because for you to stand up in the first instance, they ought to have pointed at you to give you the permission. But you stood up. And so I said, this person must have something, and you had a point. Okay, no. You said something about security, I noted.
But when you now left your question to go into lecture, wait. We were all listening to you. Okay? So, it was at that point that we had to call you to order. That you are now exceeding the bounds. Okay. And short response to you. Security, we've noted what you said. We've gone beyond what you are discussing. You don't know what you are doing. And that's the question, the issue you raised. Your premise is wrong, and therefore, I don't need to discuss the extent of our technology and surveillance system that we have in this kind of place. I don't need to discuss it. So I just noted it, and I didn't comment. It's when you went into the lecture on housing, about what one unit, how many persons, how many people it will employ. And I said, you are derailing. Okay? Now on that, what we are doing, and I had already responded to somebody who had asked something about coming to invest with regards to housing. And I also made a very important point about, first of all, I cut you short and told you that whoever announced government was building 10,000, that it was false. Government did it. Didn't I? That conversation ought to have ended there. Yes. That is it. We didn't. We didn't say it. That conversation ought to have ended. But now, if you go into any place, and this is for all of us, for me and for everybody else, there is a season for everything. And there is order. There must be order. When you get into an event, the organizers have the rules. They organize it. I didn't stop taking questions. I was told, Governor, now respond. And I did. And after that, there shouldn't have been another. Are you getting me? Yes. So I'm saying this because next year, by the grace of God, we'll have another one. And the organizers must set rules. And we must all comply to their rules. When they set it, we abide by them. If they say 10 persons to speak, whoever they choose, so on. There are some people who met me here while we were going here, to ask, oh, he couldn't get to me. I was sitting at the back. And then asked, and I said, please, I like your suggestion. Put it down. So I appreciate everyone. If you have any suggestion to make, that's why I came here. I don't know how many governors have done this in the past. Okay? I came here to say, I'm open. I want to learn. I want to get your ideas. And to say, look at what I'm carrying home. People sat down, wrote pages, a page or two, as their suggestions. Those who couldn't ask their own publicly. So I wanted to make this, to respond to this bit so that we can set the rules straight. Next year, the rules are clear. Otherwise, if you have something to, it would also now, because of this, it will be nice next year. If you have a preconceived question, because he started by saying, there are questions he said that anytime he sees me, he would ask me. If you have such questions, you know what? Write them down. If you have suggestions that you say, anytime I say the governor that you couldn't send to me, I have only one phone. I have only one phone, and that's the number I have on my WhatsApp. Well, of course, you could imagine, since we came here, and then in our home says, I got an animal, we open a big. I'm not on the phone in a silent mode. And thousands call me on a daily basis. Okay? So you must appreciate, I want to apologize for those trying to reach me and you are unable to do so. It's not because we don't want to. It's because 99% of the time I am at events or meetings and my phone is permanently on the silent mode because I consider it rude when you are in meetings, you'll be answering
for, I mean, it appears rude to the people you are meeting with.
Excellency, sorry, the gentleman felt behavior because she said,
Okay. Okay. Now, so I think so. I apologize to you two guys who said if you are trying to reach me and it's not possible to reach us, then so be it. Okay? Whenever I can.
Check it out.
So I think no, that's okay. That's okay. Even though we are going to get away for Obona, Obona, Macana, Messi, I am where there. One over on the okay? So I want to appreciate you. I think you are all lined up here. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate you. And for those of you who have come from far and near, thank you very much. And on the far line of that we are going to have a photo here. No problem. I am here for the next few minutes. Hey, MCI. This one, probably I can be going to say, come on, in Aluzienka, I think yes, thank you very much, and God bless all of you. God bless Anambra State. God bless Nigeria.
Hello? Can we keep it low, please? Can we keep... Calm down, everyone, please. There are a few... Okay. Order, please. Hello, Pico Air. When we are planning this event, there is something that came up. We're able to find out that we have presidents of different unions, different communities in Anambra State. We put them together in one forum. So we have now a president forum for different communities. Yes. So we have in Sofia, we have Umo, we have Abatete, we have Ike, we have Osune, we have Okedit. So we have 30 of them so far. So I want to say thank you. We have Oga, we have Nanka, we have Uteje, we have Olupasaka, we have Igbo, we have Umbas. So can we move back, please? Can we move back?
appreciate